The last exercise of the day is for us to form a soul rescue group. Now, a soul rescue group can be comprised of ideally about 7 people, but the minimum is usually 3. And the 3 participants are your medium, your facilitator, that's your questioner, and someone to record the proceedings. And it's important to have the proceedings recorded for feedback and study and so on. And I know that hospitals are full of earthbound spirits. The significance of this is that an ordinary healthy person can go and visit a relative, a friend in hospital and walk out with an earthbound spirit attached to them and have absolutely no knowledge of that whatsoever. That every hospital should have a soul rescue group working within it or attached to it, whose job is to detect the earthbound spirits of people who've died in the hospital and help them move on. It's interesting to have conversations with them, to ask them about their life, how they died, the circumstances and why they're still earthbound. It's a fascinating subject. But essentially we just need to help them move on so that they don't find themselves attached to unaware hosts. And if you detect any earthbound spirits, let us know what you find.
I've got an old man with a walking stick in his left hand.
Does he have a name?
The first name that came into my head was Albert.
I'd like to engage him in conversation. Can we talk to him?
He's ignoring me at the moment.
Well, demand his attention, so you want to speak to him.
Well, he's reluctant, but he's a bit deaf as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's kind of reluctantly turning round, yeah.
Okay, does he know where he is?
No, he's very confused.
Right. Ask him to look around him,
Yeah.
and get an idea of where he thinks he is.
Well, he says, don't be silly, I'm in the hospital.
Okay. So what are you doing in the hospital? What's the matter?
Well, they're making me better.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in bed?
No.
What are you doing?
I'm in the corridor, I'm going out.
What are you doing going out if you're there to
I'm
get...
going back home.
But are you better?
No.
No.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. What have you discovered?
They can't see me.
Do you know why they can't see you?
I'm all alone.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you know what was wrong with you, why you went into hospital?
Something to do with the ticker.
Can't hear you. Something to do with your ticker?
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you?
78.
Okay, right. So do you know what's happened to you now? What's happened to your ticker now? Have they fixed you up or what?
Oh, it seems alright.
You're walking around, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Why can't they see me?
Well, what if I suggested to you that they can't see you because your body is perhaps still in the bed where you left it? Do you want to have a look, go back to the bed where you were laying and see if you can see yourself?
I'm gonna. Oh.
So what do you reckon?
Well, why have I still got this cranky old body then?
Where is your body? Have you got 2 bodies?
Well, yeah.
I can understand why you're confused.
Well,
Because
yeah, I've got that one in the bed and I've got this one that's sort of like it used to be.
Okay, well let me suggest to you that the one in the bed has ceased to function. The ticker has stopped
Ah.
and you have left it. So you've left your body, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that make you?
I can't be dead if I've still got this cranky old body, can I?
Perhaps if I suggest to you that when your body died, your spirit left the body and your spirit continues to exist. Yeah?
I'm very confused.
Right. So you don't know where to go now, do you?
No.
Right. What if I suggest to you that when the body dies, your spirit leaves the body, it's supposed to go to the light?
Oh.
What I'd like you to do is look around you, open your eyes and identify a source of light. Can you do that? Do you see the light?
Well, it's very faint.
Right. Now I'm going to ask someone close to you, someone who knows you, a relative perhaps, who's passed before you, to come and show you the way. You see anybody coming?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Mum. Oh, it's coming again. Yeah, all right.
Did you want to go with her?
I'm going.
Okay.
Oh.
You go with your mum and leave that old tired body behind.
Yeah. Oh, I've left it. Oh.
Okay then, off you go with your mum to the light. Did anybody else manage to pick up anything, Joy?
Yes, I've got a few, I think. There's someone who's hanging around the entrance, and they were brought in in an ambulance. They're strapped into the chair and they're confused about why they cannot get through the door because they died in the chair. I have to say, I do feel that door, that the entrance is a dark spot.
I was going to say they're waiting to hijack those that don't make it through the door.
There's
I can
it
sort
still
of feel
feels
it.
dark.
Yeah.
It feels like I've swept.
I was just,
Swept it for now, but it's-
inside the main door. It was horrible.
That's a waiting spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all lingering, like kind of, smokers out there having a fag, but they're all dead and they're not sure and they're not going through. So it feels like it's been cleared for now, but it's.
So there's
No,
another-
of course that would be the best place to be. Because when the ambulances draw up, all of the fear and people that are about to die are going to be in that massive adrenaline.
Yes.
So that's a feeling point
Yes,
for
of
negative
course.
entities, of course, really,
Oh.
before they go into the various parts of the hospital.
Yeah.
So, because Bal's got someone as well, I think. So we'll just engage whoever it is that's trying to talk through you.
We were all underground.
What were you doing?
We were in the mine,
Okay.
all of us.
And something happened.
Fate gave way. They left us.
We need to
We're still down there.
get on with a release.
We're still down there.
Okay, what we'll do, Stanley, is we'll call forward a guide that you'll see. It's going to take you to the light.
All of us are still down there.
Now walk to the light, Stanley. Can you see that light? Just walk forward. Now as you do so, Bal's going to come back into her body and you're going to let go and move backward. And what we'll say is goodbye, Stanley, now. You'll be absolutely fine. And we call Bal back.
Experience.
Now you know what it feels like to die that way.
The kind of lead on is that energy could then effectively possess her body from there on in. So if you can't get it out, and it's now taken over, as you could see physically, it's got control and it's feeling it, then if you can't get rid of it, you're in a bit of a difficult place then, really, like, because that's obviously I had a few people that have been, in car accidents and stuff, and they've been in comas, and then when they wake up, it's a completely different personality. And when I spoke to Chen, I said, what is going on? He said, basically that person elected to die at that point, and because there's kind of like a big list of people or energies that want to experience a human life, rather than just let the body go, they just take over. So they
Walk in.
so one can walk in,
Yeah.
yeah. So one walks out of the walks in, they wake up, and the family find they've got a completely different personality in the same body, and they can't understand it.
My understanding is that every hospital in this country has a chaplaincy where people can go and seek religious and spiritual support in the event of someone dying in hospital. But it poses the question, doesn't it? To what extent do they have this kind of knowledge that we're talking about here today? How many doctors, nurses and hospital staff and chaplains in hospitals would really appreciate what we're talking about here today?
From my understanding, a lot of nurses certainly see an awful lot of stuff that they cannot.